The movie begins when a student named Yocchi attended her new school. Yocchi, she turned into previously a target of bullying at her old school, and because of that, she became scared while the instructor requested her to introduce herself to her new friends. Yocchi was reluctant to introduce herself while one of the students named Makoto felt compelled to pull a prank on her. He compelled Yocchi to open a soda can he gave to her, but when she opened it, it spilled and wet the trainer. As the end result of that incident, Makoto was referred to as to the instructor's room. The lecturers realized that Makoto regularly pranked his friends at school. They asked Makoto to take all his toys out of his bag. Meanwhile, Yocchi waited outside because she was also affected by that incident. While waiting for Makoto, Yocchi got to know Makoto's best friend named Kida and found out from him that Makoto is an orphan. Kida told her that he became friends with Makoto because he is also an orphan. Years later, Makoto, Kida, and Yocchi entered junior high school. One day, Makoto wanted to buy Kida a drink, but when Kida cracked the can open, the content gushed out. Turned out, Makoto was pulling a prank on him. Even though Makoto often pranked him, Kida always laughed it off. One day, Makoto asked Yocchi about the thing that scared her. Yocchi said that what scared her the most was if she was forgotten, because, in elementary school, she was often bullied. This treatment made Yocchi sad because he just wanted to be appreciated by his friends and didn't want to be forgotten. After hearing Yocchi's story, Makoto took Yocchi to meet her old friends who used to bully her back then, and after assembling them, Makoto at once beat and asked them to make an apology to Yocchi. However, they refused to apologize. Suddenly, Makoto apologized to them first, but it became a prank. They then ran away from them. Makoto defined to Yocchi that the prank might remind them of her. When they entered high school, their friendship was still as strong as ever. At the same time as putting out together, Yocchi instructed her friends that she ordered her favorite meals and asked them to try it. Suddenly, Makoto told them that he had to leave because he had to move again to class. Kida asked Yocchi what she wanted to do after she graduated. Yocchi said that she wanted to be an actress because she really likes watching movies, but when Yocchi asked back what Kida wanted to do, he replied that he didn't know what he wanted. Yocchi jokingly told him to be an assassin. The three of them always spent time together after school. One day, Yocchi told Kida and Makoto that she really wanted to see the fireworks during winter. Makoto promised to make fireworks like Yocchi wanted. While walking down the beach, they also expressed the pain if they had to live without each other. Their friendship became stronger after Yocchi came into their life. To capture that moment, Yocchi asked Kida and Makoto to take a photo together. When they graduated from school, Kida took Yocchi out for a walk together, and when they were crossing the road, Kida expressed his feelings to Yocchi. Yocchi was surprised and silent. After that brief silence, Yocchi revealed that she also liked Kida, but his confession was a bit late because previously, Makoto had expressed his love to her and she accepted him. After Makoto graduated from school, he worked in a car repair shop. Makoto got appreciation from his boss for his good job, so he asked him to shake hands, but it turned out to be just a prank from Makoto. One day, when Yocchi and Makoto were about to cross the road, Yocchi immediately stopped Makoto. She angrily told him to use the crossing signal because without them using it, the button wouldn't have any meaning. On Christmas Eve, Makoto met Kida, who was still at the workshop, and told Kida that he wanted to give a surprise to Yocchi, which he called the proposal operation. Makoto wanted to give a fireworks attraction as a surprise for Yocchi, and he would later propose to her. He even had prepared a ring for her. Makoto asked Kida to wear a Santa Claus costume for the plan. Later that night, Kida and Makoto were busy preparing the fireworks. Makoto couldn't wait for Yocchi to arrive, but because Yocchi hadn't come yet, Makoto finally decided to pick her up. Kida, who was still waiting, finally had enough of waiting and finally decided to catch up with Makoto. Kida shouted for Makoto, who was standing on the side of the road, then immediately approached him only to be shocked by what he saw. Makoto was crying when he saw Yocchi's lifeless body laying down in the middle of the road. While holding the ring that was going to be given to Yocchi, Makoto couldn't say a word and approached Yocchi. He then kept the broken glass of the car headlight that hit Yocchi that night. Makoto's heart was broken to see his lover die in front of him. Since Yocchi's death, Makoto lost all his life purpose. He lost his spirit for work. One day, a customer came to the workshop with her sports car. The woman immediately asked the mechanics to repair her car. Kida, who saw the damage to the luxury car, immediately called their boss. Meanwhile, Makoto, who was still standing there, immediately approached the car. Makoto really paid attention and observed the car's damage carefully. He saw the broken headlight and took out the glass shard that he picked the night Yocchi was killed. He tried to fit it into the broken glass and it turned out to be perfectly fit. He was shocked and fell silent while looking at the woman's face. Makoto asked the woman what caused the damage. The woman replied that she hit a dog. Knowing that the incident had occurred about 2 months ago, Makoto was curious and asked about the dog's condition after being hit. Without a hint of guilt, the woman replied that maybe the dog was dead. Makoto looked at her with pure anger, but he did not give up and approached the woman who was waiting for her taxi. He asked her to have dinner together, but the woman refused by judging Makoto's appearance from top to bottom arrogantly. Makoto tried to catch up and get the woman's attention by pulling a magic trick. He took a rose out of nowhere and asked the woman to hold it while he pulled a string out of his hands. The woman thought it was very stupid and returned the flowers to Makoto. After the woman left, Kida asked what they were talking about. Makoto told him that he could get that woman for him and that the fact that they were living in a different world wouldn't be able to stop him. Soon after that, Makoto resigned from his job and disappeared. 2 years later, the boss asked for Kida's help to find Makoto. He was missing for a long time and the workshop was bankrupt. Shortly after, Kida found Makoto living in a cheap apartment. Makoto claimed to have raised money all this time to buy a wine company worth 45 million yen to become someone worthy of Lisa, the mysterious woman who repaired her car at the workshop back then. He then asked Kida to help with the plan that he named Proposal Operation, the same name as the one he planned for Yocchi. It was a plan to confess his love for Lisa. Makoto asked Kida to come to a person that could help them to make a fake ID. On the other hand, Makoto lived a hard life to get a lot of money. He worked as a croupier in a casino. Though his job was dangerous, Makoto was very professional in his job. That day, when Makoto returned to his apartment, he watched Lisa on the TV. She was a famous model. Makoto kept admiring her beauty and tried to approach her. Suddenly, Kida showed up to give Makoto his new identity as part of the proposal operation. That new identity would help Makoto to approach Lisa without suspicion. The next day, Makoto went to the owner of a wine company in the hospital. He brought in 45 million yen and brought the company from the man. After that, Makoto became the owner of the company, and with a new identity, Makoto started his new life as the owner of a wine company and achieved a life that equaled Lisa's. One day Kida came to visit Makoto's apartment and was very impressed with his new life as the owner of a wine company. There, Makoto invited Kida to drink. Kida told him about their past and about the bankrupt workshop where they used to work. It turned out that Makoto already knew all the stories. Since he officially became crazy rich and part of the most influential people in the city, he was invited to a party. There, he saw Lisa's father and of course, there was also Lisa who attended the event. Knowing that Lisa was there, his eyes couldn't look away from that beautiful woman. Makoto was finally able to meet Lisa in person again, but when Makoto wanted to greet her, he saw that Lisa came with her boyfriend and backed down. After they left, Makoto called and told Kida to threaten Lisa's boyfriend. Kida immediately went to Lisa's boyfriend's place and threatened him right away. He asked Lisa's boyfriend to leave Lisa immediately, otherwise, he wouldn't hesitate to shoot him dead on the spot. After that, Makoto finally got what he wanted. He spent a lot of time with Lisa and made her fall in love with him. One day, Makoto told Kida about the purpose of the proposal operation, which was to revive Yocchi's existence and that the operation would end when Makoto gave a ring to Lisa, but Kida was still confused about Makoto's intention. Makoto told him that the plan had no meaning. Makoto also asked for help from Kida because this operation would be impossible to do without Kida's help, but while talking to Kida, suddenly, Lisa showed up to pick up Makoto. After thinking for a while, Kida left from there. The next day, Kida's boss asked for Kida's help to give a suitcase to Makoto. Kida immediately rushed to Makoto's apartment and gave the suitcase to Makoto. When it was opened, it turned out that the suitcase contained explosives. To thank Kida, Makoto gave him a glass of wine and asked him to sit down. It turned out that the chair Kida was sitting on had a small explosive installed in it. The chair broke down and almost made Kida trip down. While laughing because his prank succeeded, Makoto told Kida that he was testing his remote control. Long story short, it was Christmas Eve. Makoto and Kida got ready to carry out their plan. Kida wore a Santa Claus costume according to Makoto's request and was walking between the crowd when suddenly, he got a call from Makoto, saying that he would give him a prank when in fact Kida also prepared a prank for him, but Makoto smiled and said that he would soon pick up Lisa. Their plan was carried out successfully. They managed to hijack the entire Jumbotron in the street and make a Christmas show which broadcasted Lisa through a hidden camera. The pedestrians who watched the broadcast were very enthusiastic because they thought this was a live broadcast from Lisa, who was a famous model. Makoto was in his hotel room and chatting with Lisa. He told Lisa that their first meeting happened 10 years ago at a car workshop. Lisa couldn't believe what Makoto said, but Makoto explained that all this time, he had lied about his identity. He was a mechanic that she met 10 years ago, but Lisa couldn't remember. To remind Lisa, Makoto used the same magic trick that he pulled on Lisa the first time they met. When Makoto pulled the string from his hand, she recalled the moment when she met Makoto. Makoto explained that since 10 years ago when they first met, he tried to raise money so he could buy a company. His goal was to achieve the same level in life as her so he could approach her. Lisa misunderstood and thought that the struggle Makoto had all this time was to get close to her and be happy with her. Makoto asked Lisa to pull the string on the rose earlier, and when she did, there was a ring coming out of it. She thought the ring was going to be given to her, but the ring was for Yocchi. After that, Makoto gave the broken glass of the car headlight to Lisa and explained about Yocchi. He also showed a photo of Yocchi to Lisa. Yocchi, the girl Lisa hid a long time ago, was his good friend, but Lisa said that it was a dog that was killed. Makoto said that after finding out about the accident that happened to Yocchi, Makoto immediately reported it to the police. He had been waiting for information from the police about Yocchi's death, but no information ever came. Even the news in the newspapers and television never reported about the accident, as if nothing had ever happened. Makoto realized that as a politician, Lisa's father had the power to erase the proof about the accident and made it as if it never happened. In the end, Lisa admitted that it was she who hit Yocchi. Lisa didn't recognize that she was confessing her crime in the front of everybody. Makoto, who heard Lisa's confession, became very irritated and immediately took out the remote control he had previously prepared. That was when Kida realized that Makoto planned to carry out a suicide bombing. Kida panicked and right now known as to find Makoto before it become too late. Unfortunately, Makoto had pressed the button and the explosion was inevitable. All of it ended with a stunning but ironic firework appeal. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe.